night and welcome along to the All Guns Blazing podcast with my man DT in the building. How you doing, bruv?
I'm alright.
The set's getting there. Couple of mics now.
Couple of mics. Remember last week what he said?
No,
It's going to be here by next week. I'm putting the pressure on them.
To be fair, they've the sets are there. They're building at the moment. They've ordered a lot of stuff and that. It does take time for it to. I've seen sort of their plans. It's looking all right, man. What, keeping you up or something?
No, I'm just saying. A lot of things take time and plans, innit? Like Emery and the team. People
Let's
don't give them time.
Let's jump straight into that.
Yeah, let's jump
straight into that. What a segue.
You know what I mean?
Right, because that was going to be the first thing that I was going to discuss was what we saw last week.
Yeah.
Losing to Manchester City. We all knew it was going to be a really difficult start to life, and it was very difficult. There were good things, there were bad things in that game. What we did see, which was clearly obvious, is a brand new style of play for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Number one, at every opportunity, they tried to play it out from the back.
Yeah.
At every opportunity, right? Which was something very new to Petr Cech.
Telling me.
And then also, they tried to play like a very high pressing game.
Yeah.
Force it, and on occasions forced Manchester City into mistakes.
Yeah.
And on another day, there's a couple of opportunities. The one in particular, Ozil one. On another day, we could have scored from. You know what I mean? So that was quite good in parts. But of course, it's work in progress.
Yeah.
You don't want to be work in progress against a team like Man City that's so good that can bring Jesus, De Bruyne, Sane off the bench.
I don't think we had a choice though.
You know, but but what did you make of the start of Unai Emery's revolution last week?
I'm happy with it.
Happy with the loss?
No, I'm not happy with the loss. I'm happy with what I'm seeing. Never happy with losing, but after we lose games, I never watch highlights ever. No match of the day, not nothing. TV's banned, the whole lot. Don't want to see it, don't want to know. But
takes me a
after
couple of days.
Yeah, after this one, I wanted to actually watch it back.
Yeah.
Because you always seem to see things and, get a better perspective once you've had time to let your adrenaline die down and stuff like that. And I went back, watched the game at least 3 times. I watched it back, certain areas, and each time I was picking up things I didn't the time before. And I was seeing things, and the way they were pressing in a pack of 3. And there were times when they did shut City down, they were causing them problems. You look at the chance you said for Ozil, that was because of the way we shut Ederson down and he had to make the mistake. He done a mistake straight after, that was because of the way we were shutting them down. I think that our style of play and the way we wanted to do it was more effective and better in the second half in comparison to the first. Petr Cech worries the life out of me, because that's something really new to him, and what's the saying, innit? You can't teach an old dog new tricks, so it's down to him to show that he can develop that side. But my thoughts, I feel that Leno should be in goal. But
Let me ask you something on that Cech thing. He made that horrendous mistake where he nearly hit it into his own goal. Yeah?
Oh, man.
That was like,
That was
everybody was
comical.
like, oh my God, it was comical, it was horrible. It didn't actually end up being a goal, but on another day it could have done easily,
Yeah.
After that though, was it more in our head psychologically that because of that mistake we were just worried every time the ball's passed back? Because when I was analysing it back, he didn't actually make any more errors.
Yeah, he
in
did
the passing back.
In the second half he did. He nearly put the ball in, I can't remember what Man City player it was, but he tried playing it across the box. And the Man City player actually got a toe to it and nearly intercepted it, and he would have had the tap into the empty net. So there was...
Oh, yeah, you're right.
There's that moment there as well where it's just... And look, as fans, you're going to be nervous. You're
nervous. Even on a normal day, you're nervous when the ball's being played around the back.
That was like playing FIFA and the button got stuck. When he had that shot, and it was just like, oh my God, it was like, what are you doing? And then, because we're naturally like so nervous, and you can feel it in the stadium, because there was a moment where Cech kicked it long on a goal kick, and everyone started cheering. Yeah. It was like a massive roar. It was like a goal. So that obviously will go to the players. They will start to get a bit edgy, and certain parts of your game that could creep in because of what's going on off the pitch. And it's just, my thoughts. I said before the game, although Petr Cech had a great pre-season, I think that Bernd Leno was my first choice to be number one. In my preview in the last podcast, I said that Bernd Leno should be in goal. I even, before this game, said that I'd watched the Lazio game closely and that he was the main person that built our play. He used to hold on.
One half.
He played the whole game against
Lazio.
It was the other ones where they were making all the changes.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is that what he was doing was he was using the ball with his feet, drifting around with it, and he was pulling the other team's offence this way, which then opened space in behind. And I even said to you that I felt he was key to us building attacks. Lo and behold, we go into the game against Man City. That's the style of play we're playing. But Petr Cech didn't have the attributes.
He did have a good pre-season, though, didn't he, Petr Cech?
Yeah, he did have a good pre-season.
Great pre-season. And even in that game, he did pull off about 3 brilliant saves.
I said it in my player ratings. I said it in the interview with you after. It was a weird one because on one hand, Petr Cech would have been close to getting man of the match with some of his saves because he kept us in it. But then on the other, he nearly lost us 2-3 goals at the same time. So you're kind of in the middle as to where you're
So you're not against the style, that playing out at the back, but you think it has to be Leno, Cech.
Yeah.
I mean, how's he going to learn it then, Cech, if he's not in at the deep end trying to... Because this is what he's what the new manager's trying to implement. Obviously, he's not been used to it. Do you know what, right? And I did this as an exclusive yesterday in one of the videos I did, right? I'm going to say it again here, right? I got it on good authority, right? No, not even just good authority.
We played another match on the Monday.
This happened. They played a game on Monday.
Yeah.
They played a game on Monday against Crystal Palace's first team, minus the main players that played at the weekend for Palace against Fulham.
Yeah.
And it was all about play. He's behind closed doors. It was kept secret, and it was all about, again, them trying to implement that style, playing out from the back, pressing. So Unai Emery, that's his style. That's what his style is going to be. And also you can see that this guy's quite meticulous. He must be to have done that, which is unprecedented. He must have been not too happy with what he saw with the performance on Saturday, Sunday.
The thing is that what you've got to remember is that we're not going to come up against another side that presses the way that Man City do.
Well, Chelsea will press.
Yeah, but not to the extent of Man City. Nobody's got the pressing extent of Man City.
But Chelsea will still press. Will still press well.
They will
they're
press
good
well.
at pressing. They're going to be playing at home as well. They're
not
going
to the extent of Man City. Man City are the best at it.
Yeah, they're the best at it.
And then the finished article. And what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, the one thing I didn't expect Emery to do this week was to turn around and make a change in goal. So when I saw his press conference and him saying that Petr Cech's going to be in goal, I knew that was going to happen anyway.
Should he make a change?
I think he should. I think that he should go with Bernd Leno. But then what will that do after one game? But then that's not my position. I believe that maybe you need to be a bit more ruthless. But then I think that maybe he doesn't want to rock the boat so much when he's only just come here. No, it's not Wenger-like.
It's Wenger-like because you know that Wenger wouldn't drop Cech after that first game.
Well, to be honest, I don't think there's a lot of goalkeepers, a lot of managers that would have dropped a goalkeeper after one game. Even Pep Guardiola persisted with Bravo for how long before he decided to bring another keeper in. But yet, if Pep Guardiola would have had a goalkeeper that he felt was adequate to replace Bravo at the time, he would have.
So you make a great point there in that when Pep Guardiola came in with a similar style at Man City, it took time. I mean, he had to get rid of Joe Hart because he realised that he couldn't play that style. Bravo, who he brought in, he didn't cut it. Remember how many times Bravo used to get caught? Yeah. And he was brought in because he was supposedly an expert at playing that style of football, playing out from the back and that. So,
And remember John Stones? Do you remember how he was ridiculed when he first went to Man City?
Because and
the
people
way he was playing out.
And if you remember with John Stones when he was playing out from the back, everybody at that time, not now, because this is what these press guys are very good at. They're very good at forgetting what they used to say, right?
Yeah.
At the time, they were all having a go at Pep Guardiola, saying, "Why are you ruining John Stones' confidence by making him play the ball out like this?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You.
And now look what they're saying.
And last week at the ground, there was quite a lot of Arsenal fans who were very frustrated by this playing out at the back. They're like, "Why are we doing this? Go long sometimes." But if we're going to be patient...
You know what it is? Because some people are not used to seeing another style of football. They've become so accustomed to it for 22 years. And maybe some fans have never seen any other style of football because they're younger than 22. And maybe some people are so old they've forgotten what it was like. Do you know what I mean? And that's as simple as that.
It's going to require patience, though, isn't it?
Listen, if I can be patient, then anyone can. Come on. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, I get this whole...
Are you just being patient?
No.
So hold on, wait.
No, I'm going to say it because I know what you're coming out with.
Let me say it then.
Go on and say it.
Let me say it. It's as a guy said to me the other day, and I'm just going to say what he said to me. He goes, DT's been so patient, right? Because he had such a go at Wenger over the years. He has to be patient because now he's got his change. If he goes in on the new guy, it'll make him look, you know what I mean? Well, he's only being patient because of that.
I've said it's one game.
I agree with you. I'm on your side, you know.
What do these people actually...
I'm on your side here, but I'm just saying what someone said.
Let me explain something, right? People sit there and straight away, this bullshit thing that they keep coming out with about patience and stuff like that, yeah? I was patient with Arsene Wenger for years before I'd lost it and finally went. At the end, it wasn't like Arsene Wenger just had one...
I didn't know you before then.
No, it wasn't like Arsene Wenger had one bad result and I turned on him. At the end of the day, Arsene Wenger, when he came to Arsenal, was given a chance. Nobody knew who he was. Who's this guy from Japan? Arsene who? You remember all that kind of stuff? We were all like it. But okay, we'll give him a chance. He had big shoes to fill from, not Bruce Rioch, but George Graham, a man that brought us league titles back, a European trophy. You know, so he had big shoes to fill. And he went and done what he had to do. And then results started getting worse. And then once we moved to the Emirates and stuff like that, and after the Champions League final, and then, you know, all them poor results were coming in. And do you remember opening games of the season, Aston Villa? You remember that, Chris Hudson, when Arsenal Fan TV blew up. But, you know, wasn't waving banners then. I wasn't... You know, I was angry at the results and what was going on, but I was willing to give him time. Let's change it around because it's like, come on, I know Arsene can do it. And I look at Emery's CV and I look at, you know, 3 Europa Leagues in a row. I look at what he'd done at PSG. Regardless of it being at PSG, he's still got to go and win the league. He's still got to go and win the cup. He's still got to go and make those players play. So he's got the
pedigree.
He's got, you know what I mean? The CV's there. So it's like, let him implement his ideas. It's 22 years of the same regime. 22 years of the same training, the same styles, the same methods. A lot of the backroom staff that are gone have been there for most of Arsene Wenger's time. You think of Arsene Wenger's right-hand man. He was there before Arsene had even came to Arsenal. He was with him in Japan. So you think of goalkeeping coaches, how long have they been there? You think of physios, it's been Gary Lewin and then passed down to his nephew, I believe it is. So it's something that's all there. Everything has now been changed. It isn't like they've just changed a manager. They've changed the whole backroom staff. And everyone needs to get used to the ideas that the manager's bringing in. A lot of those players have been here for 2, 3, 4 years and above. They will be used to a certain style that Arsene Wenger's implemented in training. Things will be completely different. Timing, how many times, the way that they're doing it. Everything's completely different, and that is not going to happen overnight.
Did he make mistakes in that? Why didn't he start Lucas Torreira? You know, when he came on, he looked so comfortable. Was playing so well. Why did he start him? Why did he start Xhaka? Why didn't he not start Torreira?
I don't know. To be quite honest with you, that is probably the one question that you're going to have to ask him. And It'd be interesting to see what he says. I can only presume Torreira was like, maybe he's not quite up to the minutes yet. And Xhaka's more proven, shall we say, and knows the Premier League. I actually thought he would go with Torreira and possibly Xhaka, if anything. I know in my preview that I actually said that he would go with Torreira, I think it was Ramsey and Guendouzi. Because I felt Xhaka was just off the pace from what I watched him in that first game against Lazio. But I don't know. Only he can tell.
And then up front, Lacazette and Aubameyang.
Yeah.
Again, why not the two of them when they both was on there in that second half? We were very threatening because the one thing about Aubameyang, he's not really that hold-up player, is he? He needs the ball in behind him. And if we weren't, for long periods of that time, we weren't getting the ball in behind him. So
the only thing that I can think is that he decided to have more of a reserved approach to the game than a gun-ho one. So I think maybe that's why he decided on that. He didn't get it right. He will learn from that. I think the best form of defence is attack sometimes. And I feel that if there is a weakness in Man City, is that you can get at their back line. Liverpool showed it. Liverpool were the most effective against Man City last year. The amount of times they beat them, and you remember what they did in the Champions League as well. So sometimes, go at them. And if you've got that kind of attacking, force on your side, then why not? Why not? So, Liverpool's defence was not the best last year until Van Dijk come in. So they believed that their best form of defence was attack. And you only have to look at where they ended up at the end of the season. Yeah, they won no trophies, but they built on what they've got. So I just think maybe that was it. He was maybe being a little bit cautious for this one. Maybe too cautious.
Let me run through the new boys
and
see what you made of them. Socrates, playing a centre-back.
I thought he had a decent game. Like I said, I look back on it. I can't think of any mistakes he made. I can't think of any chances where...
There's no nonsense, isn't he?
No, very no nonsense. Very rosette. Very, what we've been crying out for so long. Stop trying to do stupid things when you can just get rid of it.
It was that time the City player was down, he just chopped him. He was just like...
It's like, good night. And it was... I can't think of any time Aguero got the better of him or Mustafi during the game. Aguero had one real chance, but that was down to a mistake from Guendouzi. And looking over the game over the course of 90 minutes, Socrates didn't really put a foot wrong out there, really. Okay. And the other thing I noticed as well, he's not as slow as you might think. He's a lot quicker than you think. So, but yeah, I was impressed with him. Good. Yeah, decent debut.
Lichtsteiner, who came on second half, went up. What are you going like that for? What's that? He came on second half, had to play on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
What are you wise after now?
What was it you said to me? Will he be able to handle the pace? Will he be able to deal with the threat of the most potent attacking force in the Premier League? I don't think he... Remember all that, Brad? You remember it, yeah? Yeah, you remember that conversation when we was in Sweden, yeah? I remember it.
I remember you telling me how great Xhaka was as well.
Listen, don't worry about... Listen. We're on about Lichtsteiner here, yeah? He for me, was one of our best players. And he was superb. And
playing out of position as well.
And I feel that when the left-back position is sorted and Nacho Monreal is up to speed...
Which could be this week.
Lichtsteiner has to go in ahead of Hector Bellerin for me. Yeah. Because I think that
Bellerin didn't have a bad game, though.
He didn't have a bad game. He didn't have a great game. Didn't have a bad game. It was okay. But if you've got to make a choice over Lichtsteiner or Bellerin, then it's Lichtsteiner for me. I watched him during that game. The way he knew when to go, when to stay. Man City's biggest threat in the first half an hour until Maitland-Niles got injured was down that right-hand side, our left. Mahrez and Walker were battering it down that side. When Lichtsteiner come on, was there really a real threat down there? It stopped because they realised they were coming up against someone that knew how to play the position, regardless of him being a right back. He knows how to play as a full back. He knows when to go, he knows when to stay, he knows when to drop and to push and everything else. And what he was doing is, do you remember we had this conversation about when he came on against Spurs in the Champions League and he pushed Spurs fullbacks the other way, and that's where Juventus created the chances and turned the tie around. He pushed Kyle Walker back. So Kyle Walker was like, I don't want to push too far forward now because he will exploit down that side. That's someone who is comfortable about going the opposite way. He's fit. He's fast. He's energetic.
I like his attitude, man.
I loved it.
I like his mentality. I kind of like what I see in that back four with his mentality. I kind of like Socrates' sort of hard as nails sort of mentality.
No nonsense.
I kind of like. I'm seeing a bit more steel there.
Yeah.
I kind of like definitely from him. There's a lot of steel in.
Before the game, he was warming up, and he was talking to players on the pitch while he was warming up before he'd even come on, and encouraging them and telling them where to be and whatnot. You look at so many training videos.
Yeah, like a leader,
at the end of the day, if you're not going to take advice from someone that's won 7 Serie A titles in a row and is captain of the Swiss side, I got that one right, didn't I? Because I said Sweden in my preview. And I know who he plays for. It's just the fact that we were in Sweden. And this idiot wound me up that I lost my train of thought and I just said Sweden.
So it's my fault, isn't it?
It is your fault. You wound me right up that day. So let me correct that one. Yeah, I know that he's the Swiss captain, all right? But, it was... I'm really impressed with him.
All right, Guendouzi.
Good performance. We know he's got a mistake in him. We said it before he even played.
Yeah, in pre-season, he was very similar in that excellent player. Really, energetic, got a lot of quality, great passing, very comfortable on the ball. However, he's a young player and he got a couple of little mistakes in him. He nearly paid the price.
Yeah.
Czech got him out of jail. Thank God Czech got him out of jail.
Yeah,
his confidence would have been really knocked if he'd have made that mistake and that would have led to a goal.
Do you know what? Saying that, I don't think it would have.
He's a confident kid,
He
isn't he?
seems like that kind of player that has confidence about him and a bit of arrogance and a bit of self-belief. And even when he did lose the ball and when he might have got battled in a tackle and stuff like that, he wasn't shy to say, give me the ball. I believe the stat I saw was right that he had the most touches of any Arsenal player, 72. So this is someone that wasn't scared to get his foot on the ball, wasn't scared of receiving it, even when he made mistakes. So I like that about him. He didn't shy away from it.
Yeah.
And he played the 90 minutes. So that kind of says what Emery might think of him, because I know I don't want to go comparison-wise all the time and everything else, but you got to say if that was Arsene Wenger, he would have probably been the one that he took off. He would have said, right, take the kid off, put experience on. But Emery said, no, he's doing all right out there. I'm happy with him. I'm going to put him out there. And then he went and made the bold decisions to say, right, Aaron Ramsey, off you come. Within 5 minutes of the second half, I nearly fell over when the substitute board went up, and it wasn't for an injury. It was like he must have gone in there at half time and said, right, I'm giving it 5 minutes. If I don't see the shape change, if I don't see what I want to see, there's going to be changes. Within 5 minutes, he went, no, not seeing it. Off you come, bang, changed the shape. Completely changed the whole shape. Mesut Ozil went into the 10. Lacazette went up front. Aubameyang drifted more to the left. And within a minute of that change, you saw something. And the whole place lifted completely. And for 15 minutes, we were on top of Man City, and they were shitting themselves. That's why they were over in the corner flag, wasting time on the 60th minute. And having to make these stupid, ludicrous substitutions.
We slowed it down.
And for people that are sitting there trying to say to me that I might be clutching at straws with this whole wasting time thing, why did the referee call Fernandinho over and tell him to stop? He was their captain for the day, and he told them, stop the time. But
no, obviously it was a tactic. They slowed it down. They're under pressure. They slowed the game right down because they were like, this is getting a bit too intense up now. Yeah, I mean, and they slowed it down, and
then they scored the second goal and they killed the game as a contest.
They
and
were
that was
very
it.
good.
But then saying that at 2-0, Mustafi had a penalty, which should have been a penalty. Now I've seen it. Mendy all over him. This is where VAR would work, because VAR could tell the referee, go and have a look at that if I was you. Referee could go over, look at the screen, see that Mendy wasn't even looking at the ball. Eyes were completely on Mustafi. Hands were round him, both hands. Penalty, 2-1, game on.
He's a good player, by the way, that Mendy, man. But I'll tell you what, they got some quality in their team, Man City.
I don't rate him.
You don't rate Mendy?
No, I don't.
Pardon?
I don't rate him.
You rate Xhaka, you don't rate Mendy?
I don't rate Mendy. He's the luckiest footballer alive, man. The guy's got a World Cup, Premier League medal. He's done fuck all.
Yeah, well, we know that.
Listen, Mendy's done more on social media than on the pitch. Let's move on.
He's a quality player. You don't rate Mendy?
No, I don't like him. Move on.
You don't like him or you don't rate him?
I don't rate him.
You don't rate him?
I don't rate him.
I'm sorry, man. I'm not with you on that, man.
Well, there you go.
We could do with him in our team, I'll tell you that.
What?
I'd take him
What's he going to do? Run a social media account? Don't want him.
He's quality
Don't
player.
want him. Don't want him. No, don't rate him. I weren't impressed with him.
You rate Xhaka, you don't rate him. Anyway.
Different positions.
Torreira.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Liked him.
I love him. I already, man. You just see in that little 20 minutes that he came on. He's composed. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to read an interception. There was one incident I remember where I think it was De Bruyne that went through, and everyone was calling for Torreira to push and like the amount of space that De Bruyne had. But Torreira knew that a runner was coming off him, and he had to make the gamble of staying back and reading the pass for the interception, and he did. And I was like, yeah, that's I've seen someone there that knows how to read someone that knows, what he's doing in that position. And the thing that he does, and I said this to you when we was in Sweden, when he gets the ball, doesn't want to hang on to it, doesn't sit there and where do I go? It's bolt, bang, and everything's forward thinking. And he has to start against Chelsea. Has to.
I agree with you. Now, other players that disappeared in that game. Xhaka.
Oh, here we go.
No, it's not an attack on Xhaka thing, but I said this to you the other day. I really want Granit Xhaka to succeed, and I think the fact that Lichtstein is coming is going to help him as well.
Yeah.
And I think there's a good player in there, but we need to see it now.
Yeah, we do.
This is a big season for him.
We need to see it. I said it to you.
I'm not going to go in too hard on him because it's the first game, right? But this season, we need this guy to start showing us now.
Yeah, I know. I've said it. I said it to you. I said that we need to start seeing it now, and it's.
According to you, he had an incredible end of the season, which I didn't see. But
he had a good end to the season. He was one of our better players in what was a poor season. And I think a lot of people will agree with that. He had a very good end to the season. And I thought, okay, under a new manager, he will kick on. And it's still early days, but we need to start seeing it. We need to start seeing it now. And I don't think he was the worst player on the pitch.
No, he wasn't the worst player, but
it was the problem is that
he's an experienced player on there.
The problem with Xhaka is that the moment he could have, for example, 80 minutes, right, of brilliant play. Passing's on point, everything's nice. He could make one mistake, and everyone will forget the last 80 minutes.
I don't think it's that.
No, but I don't know. It's just I don't know what it is at the moment.
I don't think it's that, DT.
His distribution was off on Sunday. Some of it was good.
I'll give him all of that. He's only just come back.
There was one point in the game as well where you remember the chance for Mkhitaryan, where Mkhitaryan in the first half went through in the box and you're like, shoot, and he held on to it. That stemmed from Xhaka breaking up the play and releasing the ball quickly. Now, when he does that, he's good. When he breaks up the play, releases it quick. But when he seems to spend time on the ball and kind of not decide where he wants, and he does this thing where he's kind of on his left foot and then he'll switch it this way and then he's like, oh, I'm not really comfortable, slows the play down. And then he kind of then gets put under pressure and he puts an aimlessly pass. I don't think it's necessarily
the mistakes. I think it's like people are looking at him saying, yo, come on, man, show us what you can do. What do you do? Show us a bit more. Show us you're there, you're passing it around, and that, but you're not really making an impact on the game. And I think that's what I want to see him do this year. I want to see him making more of an impact on games. Yeah. Then the next person who was MIA in that game, Mesut Ozil again.
Well,
missing.
This is the thing. You say missing, right? First half, go watch the first half performance, right? He done a lot more defensively than people were giving credit for. He really, really worked hard in that first half defensively and trying to shut the ball down and do what he had to do. Watch the game back. Watch it back and then ring me. Watch it back and ring me. Don't pull your silly faces.
I better watch it back.
Watch it
defensively.
Back. Watch it back and go and watch it where he spent the majority of his time and it was defensively. And he was working really hard to try and shut things down. Go watch it back, Robbie. Simple as that. Yeah? Then he became effective when he went into the number 10 role. Then he became effective. But...
effective where? What effective?
In creating things in the game. In helping open things up. You only have to look at us the moment Lacazette come on and Aubameyang went out and Ozil went in the 10 role. It's not just a one-person thing. It's a team thing. Everything lifted, everything changed, and he
even,
became more effective.
Making enough. Listen, it's what the criticism of Mesut Ozil is when it comes to these big games, which is what it is there. And again, I don't want to go too hard. It's the first game, I know that, but the criticism is that when it's these huge games like this, where are you? Where do you step up? You know what I mean? Like how De Bruyne, as soon as he came on, made an impact for City, was worrying us. Bernardo Silva and these guys. We want to see Ozil. He's got to be our go-to guy in these games, and he didn't have a good game. He didn't have a good game.
Ozil in the,
did he have a good game?
You put Mesut Ozil in the number 10 role at Man City, and then
did he have a good game?
Nothing but problems. He didn't have the greatest of games, but he didn't have a bad game.
I wouldn't say.
I gave him a 4 in my player rating.
Exactly. So that's less than average then.
Yeah, because
you said he's below average.
The most anyone got from me in that game was 7.
Yeah, but you just said you rated him.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, no.
Said he didn't. Oh, wait a minute.
We lost the game.
He didn't have a bad game.
He didn't have the bad. Listen.
But you rated him below average.
If he had the kind of game that you're trying to imply, I'd have given him a 1.
No, but
you remember when we've done player ratings before?
But what are your
player
player ratings?
Plays bad.
What kind of player ratings you do? You just said you didn't think he had a bad game, but you've rated him below average.
It was just.
That's poor.
No, it was okay. No, it's okay.
That's not okay. Okay would have been 5.
It was okay. No, I'm not Ty.
He's below average. No, 5, yeah?
No.
10?
Listen.
Halfway?
Listen.
Average?
Listen.
They're average?
Listen
4
to
below
me.
Average?
Listen to me, Robbie. All right?
No, you went to Lee Manor and that, but you know...
He was... Listen, don't tell me nothing. I know you can't say nothing.
Right, listen.
Leland's
below
boy.
average.
You know what I mean? Yeah, listen. No, look. I just felt that it wasn't the best game and it wasn't the worst game. And it was just... You
want to see more from this guy,
Yeah, man. You want to see more, but you want to see a lot more. I also gave Aubameyang a 4.
No, he didn't have a great game either.
He didn't have a great game,
But
it was
what I'm saying is Ozil's, the main 300 grand or 350 grand a week, whether he deserves to be always labelled with that price tag or not, he's gonna. And in these games, the criticism he had even over the summer and stuff like with Germany and things like that. People looking at him, so he.
I know they'll keep looking at him.
We want to see him stepping up.
He'll step up, and I'm got no worries at all that he's going to step up.
You should do his PR, man.
I lit my boy, man.
Yeah, that's it. I just remembered as well. He got a picture with him after the game, innit?
I knew he was going to come up with that one.
Yeah, he had a great game. That's your best mate,
nothing to do with that.
Listen, yeah.
Right, let me explain something.
Did a picture with your son as well.
Let me explain something to you, yeah?
Your son's over there. Jack, you get a picture with Ozil?
I have.
You got a picture with Ozil after the game, yeah?
Yeah, listen.
You chatting to him, yeah? Yeah, see, I told you.
Don't watch that, right? Listen to me carefully. Listen to me, yeah? Listen to me very carefully, right? Now, let me explain something to you.
No biases.
My thoughts on Ozil are not just after the other day. I've always thought like this about Ozil, but I've said all along that I feel this season's a big season for him. And I've said if he doesn't perform and he has been as lackluster as he has been in recent times, then I feel we'll sell him at the end of the year because we've got the length of contract and everything else to try and get at least some money back. But he's got to have this year, and I feel that he will come good this year. I genuinely do. And he is a nice guy.
Well, he's got another chance this weekend.
Yeah.
Right? Might be a nice guy and everything.
And do you know what he said to me? He said, we need you guys to keep supporting us. Clear as day.
Yeah, he obviously knows you then.
No, and you can ask Jack. And he said, because I went up to him, and it was like, because obviously I park in the car park and stuff, and it was just by chance, I was in the middle of editing my video at the time, my vlog, and then he came along, and there's a section where the players drive out, and you have to wait for the guys on the road to tell you that they're allowed to drive out because of the traffic control and stuff, and he was just sat there. So I waited for
him out of his car.
No, I waited for a second, and then some other young guy come running over to ask for his autograph. That was on there, so I thought, okay, all right, cool. So I took my boy over to him and shook his hand. I said, is this your son and stuff? And I said, yeah. And had his photo with him and stuff. And I was like, can I get a photo now? It's like, yeah. He actually took my phone and took the photo for me, so he assisted me with that. Get like that. No, but listen, no.
You didn't push no one out of the way to get that picture on.
Nah, no one got pushed out of the way. I never beat anyone up. I'm not risking of going to jail or anything like that.
That's what it is.
But he said to me, and I said to him, I said, listen, keep working hard. And he said, we need you all to keep supporting. Please keep supporting us. And I said, don't worry. I said, we will be supporting you. I said, just things have got to pick up when we move from here. And that was it. And I even spoke to Shaka as well.
Now we're starting to...
What do you want me to say? I spoke to loads of others. I spoke to Guendouzi. I spoke to other players as well, you know.
That's why certain players ain't getting no criticism.
I don't know. Did you just hear what I just said? I spoke to Guendouzi. Did you see what I said to Shaka? I said, I turned around to Shaka and I said to him, I said, it wasn't the greatest of performances today. I said, but keep your head up. And I said, and we go again next week. And I said, we got a massive game on Saturday. And he turned around and said, I know, it's a big game for all of us. And I said, just keep going. I said, it's new for all of us. It's new for all of us. It's a new way of everything. And I said, and we've got to stay positive. And he was with his dad and his missus, and he was like, thank you. And he goes, we will. What am I meant to do? Go out to the player and start calling him a fucking waste man and that?
No, I didn't say that.
At the end of the day, I'm trying to encourage the players.
That's great.
So maybe the ones that are a bit low on self-confidence, you know what I mean? Maybe give them a little bit of something. Because they're thinking, fuck me, if DT can fucking praise me, then I'm on it. So if Shaka puts a man of the match performance in on Saturday, or Mesut Ozil, then it's because of me.
And if they play poorly,
then it's nothing to do with me.
And will you say that?
It's nothing to do with me. Of course I will.
Will you say?
Of course I will.
Will you go in with the same harshness you do on people like Welbeck?
Yeah, I will. I'll say it straight. Because
you got your favourites.
If Granit Xhaka doesn't perform, I'll say he hasn't performed. If Mesut Ozil don't perform, I'll say he doesn't perform. I said Mesut Ozil didn't perform in our interview after the game on Sunday.
Yeah, but you said the way you said it, it's like it's not the same harshness as if, say, Welbeck didn't perform or one of them players.
Mesut Ozil's world class. Danny Welbeck's fucking Bambi on ice. Simple as that. I'm not going to say no more about it. At the end of the day, I don't think he'll be an Arsenal player.
I was going to ask you this question the other day, yeah?
Oh, here we go.
Who's had more impact since they've been at Arsenal? Welbeck or Xhaka? Take your time, man.
Honestly, no, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I wouldn't really say...
Tough question, isn't it?
I wouldn't really say that either of them have...
Hard question, isn't it?
I'm just trying to think top of my head. It's like, both of them have won an FA Cup, haven't they? Or was Shaka
impact as a player?
No, wait a minute. Just wait, I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to think that cup final against Chelsea. Yeah, Shaka was playing, wasn't he? And so was Welbeck. Because Welbeck missed a bag full of chances in that game.
Remember, Welbeck scored that goal in Man United. Got us to the final.
That wasn't that year.
Helped to get us there.
That wasn't that year. I'm just saying, I'm trying to work it out. Because that final, if you remember, Shaka had a good game in that final against Chelsea. Because we were going up against the champions. And people were talking about Kante and how we're going to get overrun, blah, blah, blah.
I don't want to hear about that. Just tell me the answer to the question and I'll get it.
Not much between them.
You've got your favourites, right?
I've just said there's not much between them. Why? Who do you think? You think Welbeck's had more of an impact?
Of course he has.
Nah, Gavin.
He's had more impact than Xhaka.
No, he ain't.
I can think of more... When I think of the two players, I'm not saying any of them have been brilliant at Arsenal, but I can think of more moments of Welbeck where I say, yeah, when he scored that goal at Leicester
that time. He's a striker!
Of
course he's going to have more impacted moments. He's a striker.
When he scored that goal at United.
Seriously.
His hard work.
Tal, what do you think?
His hard work.
Seriously. No, hold on a minute. You cannot
Who's had more impact?
You cannot compare a striker to someone that's playing defensive midfield, can you? Because Danny Welbeck should, by rights, have more impact on a game because he can score goals.
If you said to a Chelsea fan,
seriously,
we're playing Chelsea this week. Yeah? If you said to a Chelsea fan, who's had more impact?
Eden Hazard or Kante?
Hold on, listen, you're not comparing with Eden Hazard.
But that's what I'm saying.
Morata or Kante.
But obviously, because Morata's...
Hold on, but Morata scored more goals, didn't he? Morata scored more goals.
No, listen.
Morata scored more goals. Morata's a striker.
Morata is dog shit.
But he scored goals.
He has been
He's a striker.
Shit.
But what would the fans say? They will say Kante.
Kante
right?
has
so
an
don't give me this defensive midfielder stuff.
No, because it is because you're
Impact
sitting there
as a player.
You're sitting there and telling me
Impact as a
about
player.
things
It's not
that
about
they've done in the
goals.
game. Pussy off.
Impact.
No chance. No chance.
See, you could answer that.
No, I can easily.
I never see you so quiet.
No, because I was trying to remember the FA Cup final I was playing.
Anyway, listen, let's move on. Let's move on to Chelsea.
Move on.
Chelsea this weekend, right? Chelsea this weekend. Again, it's such a tough game. You know what I mean? Going away to Chelsea after playing Man City. Chelsea, let's all just take a step back for a minute. I had a couple of fans saying, oh yeah, but we've got a great record. Well, when was the last time we won there? Ages ago.
No, it's the fact that we haven't lost in 6 against them.
Yeah, but when was the last time we won there, Stamford Bridge? I'm not on about like the games we played at Wembley and the Emirates. At Stamford Bridge, the last time we won there, I think, is when Van Persie scored a hat-trick, right? That was years ago, right? It's their first home game as well. So with their new manager, and so the same sort of way in which we last week, new manager, new players, and that we're really up for that. Their fans and everything, they're going to be really, and their players are going to be really, really up for it as well. They're coming off the back of a real morale-boosting 3-0 win in their first game where they look very good, actually. Again, I know it's Huddersfield, but it's never an easy place to go to. Well, it wasn't last year. They took quite some big scalps there, Huddersfield. That's going to be a tough game tomorrow. Really, really tough. You know, they got some good players. They brought in that Jorginho. You know, Kante, Willian, Hazard, they're all back. You know, we saw in pre-season when we played them, the first half of that game, they gave us no end of problems. Tough game. One player
in particular gave us no end of problems.
Hudson-Odoi, but they gave us no... Again, in that game, it was Czech who was saving us time after time. Now, tough game.
Yeah,
what for starters, right? Do we play the same? This is going to be the intriguing thing for me as well in this game, right? Is what does Unai Emery? What is his tactics away from home? We saw last season we had a dreadful time away from home. We seemed to try and go toe to toe with teams, and then other times I don't even know what we were doing away from home half of the time. What do you think his tactics are going to be? Do you think he's going to play it out from the back again? Do you think he's going to be very defensive? Do you think
he's going to play out from the back again? He's not going to change that.
Do you think he's going to be very defensive?
I think he'll set up to be tight. This is why I've got a feeling he's going to play Torreira and Xhaka as a 2.
You don't think he'll play Guendouzi in this game?
I think he might be the one that misses out for Aaron Ramsey. The experience of Ramsey. I actually went in my preview for Guendouzi ahead of Ramsey because I said that I feel that we need to just get to the bottom of this whole contract thing.
Oh, so you wouldn't play him because of the contract?
Yeah, selfishly. Although, when I look at it, if he's going to help us win the game, then you've got to play him. It's just annoying that you can't say that we've got better in that position where you can go, yeah, don't worry about playing him. It's fine. I feel for this kind of game, based on the fact that we lost the first one as well, it's too important. But I genuinely think that Emery's going to go with Torreira and Xhaka together as the 2.
Do you think you'll play Lacazette and Aubameyang up front? You do?
Yeah, I think Mkhitaryan will be the one that comes out. I think he'll come out. Aubameyang and Lacazette will just swap positions. Aubameyang will play as the player that floats out wide, drifts, comes in, and Lacazette will go up front. And I think that Ramsey will sit on the right-hand side of the 3 and do the donkey work as well. Mesut Ozil will sit in the 10 role.
You worried about this game? Because it could...
I worry about every game.
Yeah, but, you know, this game, away from home, Chelsea, second game, we could have 2 games, no points.
I only worry about...
bottom of the league.
What I only worry about is certain fans' reactions. That's all I worry about. People going too over the top too soon. As long as we see something going on out there, you know, and we see something different to what we normally see, like we did with Man City, 90% of us were not happy with the result, but happy with what we saw. There's always a 10% that want to moan about everything. But as long as
you're no longer a moaner.
Oh, I am a moaner. I'll moan all day long, but I'm not stupid enough to moan after game 1. Weren't like we got absolutely annihilated by Man City. It wasn't like I couldn't see anything, that was remotely different. I saw things. I watched the game and I could see things were different. And I feel that maybe people let the result cloud their judgment, and maybe that overtook their thought process. But no, I saw difference. If that was an Arsene Wenger team that went on that kind of onslaught for Man City, would have lost that 4-5, would have capitulated. But there was a bit of fight in that team. They looked a bit of steel about us in the sense that they weren't going to give it up so easily. And we dragged it through to half-time at 1-0. And I said at the time, yes, Man City should have been 2 or 3-0 up. But that happens to teams in games.
It's 2 new managers, isn't it? It's going to be interesting because you've got 2 new managers, Sarri for Chelsea, of course Emery for Arsenal. 2, Sarri's a different style to Conte, and that he's very much attack-minded. Very funny, I was doing a preview with Louis from 100% Chelsea, and we were saying that Sarri's kind of like a Wenger, in that he allows players to have a lot of freedom out on the pitch. He's not like and then Emery's more like Conte, in that he instructs. So it's going to be
ridiculous. It will be really interesting. It will be interesting. I think that both sides are going through, new ideas with the new manager and everything else, and what will be. But what I want is for us to go and give a good account of ourselves. If we come away from that game with a defeat, but I saw something and I've seen progression, then we can move on and go to the next game. If we go into this game and we play like a bunch of headless chickens and capitulate and get battered 4 or 5, then you can sit there and start moaning and asking real questions as to what the fuck's been going on.
What have you made of some of the criticism, like
out of order?
Which wrong. Is, people have a go and say, what makes me laugh? People have a go at fans for moaning and criticising, but we've seen some very high-profile players this week.
Yeah.
Tony Adams come out and saying, Paul Merson. Tony Adams said he don't know what Unai Emery's been doing all summer.
See,
that was quite a harsh criticism.
I put a tweet up the other day and I said that what I don't agree with is the abuse that Tony Adams has been getting. The guy's a legend, greatest ever captain we ever had. You can disagree with what he said without being disrespectful to him.
Of course.
And I turned around and said that, loved him as a player, greatest ever captain, but I don't agree with what he says. And he, of all people, should know that being a manager is not as easy as it looks. To look at what happened to Granada when he took over them, it's not as easy as you think. So, he went in there and took them over and said, I want to add steel to the back line. I want them to fight. They were still shit. So, what were you doing in your 5-6 weeks there? That's what people can ask. But don't agree with the abuse and stuff. Paul Merson, I have no idea why he seems so bitter at times. Because that's what he does.
He does love the club.
I know he loves the club,
Merson a lot of times, and he's a very passionate guy. He's like us.
But then sometimes he sounds very bitter, and I don't understand why. But I've got no doubt he loves the club.
He loves the club.
But maybe that's why
he just talks from the heart.
Maybe he's got the same kind of thought process that the fans do, and maybe it comes across as something that it's not meant to sometimes. But who else was there? He actually took what was his name, Liam Rosenior, to stick up for him, for Emery. They were saying it's out of order. How can you question a guy after one game?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's stupid. You can't question him after one game.
And also you can see that the guy's trying to implement a style. And as I said, we saw the same criticisms of Guardiola when he first came in. We saw the same criticism of Klopp.
I remember when Pep Guardiola
came in. When Klopp first came in, he got criticised for...
Pep Guardiola come in, they finished 3rd that season. Didn't win anything. We knocked him out of the FA Cup semi-final. I remember them going to Everton and conceding 4 goals and stuff. I remember them getting slapped all over the place. Man City was shit. And everyone was going, why is Pep making them do this? Why is John Stones doing that? They're rubbish. Don't play it from the back. You've got people like Sam Allardyce coming out and turning around and saying...
Oh, that one. What was it? Sam Allardyce...
Go take your backhands.
Sam Allardyce saying, why is he playing it out from the back? Maybe just because he's never ever played it out of the back in his life.
Sam's a typical guy that stands on the pitch on a freezing cold morning on a Sunday league football team and says hoof it. He's like the bloke from the John Smith's advert, have it. Simple as that. So he needs to just shut up and go and take another backhand. There's a reason why he's not a manager. And at the end of the day, right, it's like...
AFTV disclaimer, we don't know if he took a backhand.
Yeah, we did, because we've seen the videos. Why do you think he got sacked from the England job? No disclaimer needed. Do you know what I mean? God, lucky we ain't talking about the referee that quit yesterday, innit? Let's not get onto that subject. But, it's just... You look at Jurgen Klopp when he first took over. I know he took over a month or so into the season after Rodgers got sacked, but they finished 8th that year. In his first full season after a transfer window and everything, they finished 4th. They only finished 1 point ahead of us in one of our worst seasons that we had. Pochettino never wins fuck all anyway, so it don't really matter where they finish. Jose Mourinho, first season at Manchester United, finished 6th, but he got away with winning the Europa, which is, but as an Arsenal fan, if we finish 6th this year, well, we win the Europa League and get back in the Champions League. Yeah, thank you very much. Take your hand off all day long.
All right, we're rounding up now. Quick, just before I get your predictions, quickly give me your team. Goalkeeper.
What I want or what I think he'll pick.
Actually, you've done your review thing and you've done your team. Yeah, I don't want to.
I'm going to go with what I think. No, mine's out.
All right, give me your team.
It's out. What?
Goalkeeper.
Petchek.
Right back.
Bellerin. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, because you're going to put Lichtstein on left back, isn't it?
Yes, I am.
And then Mustafi, Socrates.
Yep.
And then what? Midfield?
And then Torreira and Guendouzi and Xhaka.
Right.
But I feel that Ramsey may go ahead of...
Front three?
Ozil, Lacazette, Aubameyang.
Okay.
I feel that Ramsey may come out of there, so you'll have Torreira and Xhaka sitting in front of the 4. Then you'll have Ramsey playing to the right-hand side of the 3, Aubameyang on the left, Ozil in the 10, Lacazette in front. 4-2-3-1.
Score. Prediction.
2-1 win.
2-1 win. Ooh. Hope you're right, man.
If I say we lose, then everyone will call me negative, so...
Hope you're right. All right. Last thing before we go, I want to ask you just like, what have you made of this thing with Tottenham? Right?
What, the stadium?
The stadium.
Deducting points.
The fact that now, they're not going to be...
They knew anyway.
Funny enough, you did tell me. You told me a couple of weeks ago you got a couple of mates who work there.
And their contracts have been extended
till Christmas. He had it exclusive. He did say. And what do you make of it though? Now
shambles. I think the way that Daniel Levy's treated the fans is poor, although I don't mind that.
My neighbour's a Tottenham fan. He's going mad. He's like
one of my mates is a season ticket holder and he's fuming.
Yeah. He's a season ticket holder as well. He's mad. He's like, I bought my tickets. He goes, they knew from ages ago and this and that. He's angry.
And then there's people that I've seen going mad that have bought tickets that don't live in the UK that are flying over specifically for the Liverpool game because that's when it was supposed to be opening.
Yeah.
And now they're like, I don't want to fly over and go to Wembley or... And I was looking at the rules, right? And there is this thing about playing at two different places in a season and stuff, right? Really, Tottenham should be deducted points. They should. But they won't because Harry Kane will moan about it. I'm never playing for England again. All this bullshit. That's what happened. So, yeah. You're trying to make me laugh. But that's what happened because they're the media. They're like the darlings, aren't they? Half their team's England. So they ain't going to go and do anything about it. But they should be deducted points. Because
how many points would you deduct?
10. I think that's what they... No, that's what I think it is. Points. I think that's what it is. I think it's 10-point deduction, isn't it?
It'd be relegated.
You look at all these other sides that have had penalties in lower league. If this was a lower league club and their ground was not ready for the start of a season, like when clubs get promoted from the Vanarama to the Football League, their stadiums have to be up to standards. Yeah, they have to be up to a certain standard and stuff, right? If that stadium was not up to standard, the FA and that would turn around and say, deducted points, or you're not coming up to the league until it's ready.
It's very embarrassing, isn't it?
It's embarrassing. Daniel Levy knew that stadium was never going to be ready in time. Go and look at the pitch. I looked at pictures of the stadium today and what it looks like. It's nowhere. That ain't going to be ready till 2019. I put a tweet up the other day. My mate told me that they've got X amount of fire alarms. I think it was. It was like a few hundred fire alarms, and then to do with the testings and everything else. And each test takes 20 minutes. And there was about 400 fire alarms that they've got to test. And it works out at about 130 odd days it would take them just to test the fire alarms. They got problems with their air conditioning units being installed. It ain't just a few little licks of paint and cosmetics.
And look how many stadiums they built in Russia.
Know what I mean? They built a stadium outside the stadium.
Yeah, all on time. And one stadium Tottenham got to build and they can't get it right on time.
Do you know what I mean? And I've heard that Daniel Levy's had to put a plea out now for a load more electricians.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you want if you want a Sparky to come and do your jobs in London, you're fucked because they're all down at the new stadium. I think they're in a mess. They've got no naming rights for the new stadium. Yeah, they've also got this fixture clash with Man City because there's an NFL game on at Wembley. So where's it going to play? Because they haven't got a game, and they've turned around and said, "Well, they've turned around and said,
play at Barnet."
Someone turned around and said, "Can't they borrow the Emirates?" Fuck off! You're not borrowing the
Borrow
Emirates.
what?
Piss off, man! I don't want that cesspit in there. And winds me up that the 2,000-3,000 of them have to come in there once a season anyway. But they were saying about how maybe they'd swap the fixture around so it's at the Etihad, but then they're saying that's not right because later on in the season, Man City would have a pile up of fixtures in, so it wouldn't work.
You got a point when you say they should be dot points.
Do you know what would be a good idea for that Man City game? Follow what they've done in Spain. Go and send them off to fucking Asia somewhere. Go and play out there. Go and play in the fucking Middle East or something. Fuck Tottenham off up there for one game. Piss off over there. Do you know what I mean? But no, they should be deducted points.
Oh, you got a great point there, man. This is terrible. You know what I mean? But it's... You know, our thing was on time.
Ours was on time.
Our thing, all right, took us a long time to pay for it, but, you know...
It was on time, it was ready.
And do you know what? You think about it. Not only did we have to build a new stadium, we had to put in transportation links, all kinds of things like that we did. And it all... And these guys were running up their
remember as well,
this new ground, and they can't get... They don't even move nowhere.
That's what I mean. They're on the same bit. Instead of on a dump, at the end of the day, they've also got to... They've got what do you call it? They've got to play 2 games before the official first game.
Yeah, because you've got to play the test games.
Yeah,
I don't think that's gonna be ready at Christmas.
It ain't gonna be ready. I told you.
That's gonna be in the new, like you said, in the new year.
My mates' contracts have run up to the very last day of 2018, and it's still with a question mark of they've been told it may extend a little bit further. I honestly think Tottenham may end up having to play the whole season away from Spurs, because I feel if it gets to about January and it's not ready, then it's not right. Well, how can you make everyone play at Wembley like here? I think it's wrong now. Making certain teams go to Wembley and then not, and then it could be an advantage, a disadvantage, or deduct some points.
I agree. Points should be deducted.
I think we should start a petition.
Let's start a petition. Do you think Spurs should be deducted points? We're going to run a poll on it, actually.
Yeah, and do you know what? If we start an actual petition and it gets 100,000 signatures, it has to, by law, go
debated in Parliament.
It goes to be debated in Parliament.
I actually forget the poll. That's what we're going to do. We're starting a petition.
We're going to start a petition. Tottenham to be deducted points.
Yeah.
All the links will be in the description.
Yeah.
Watch, it's coming.
I like this.
Yeah. And hey, ain't the guy at the House of Commons an Arsenal fan? The one
Jeremy Corbyn.
Nah, man, the one that sits.
No, Jeremy Corbyn's an Arsenal fan.
I know, but the main guy, the one that sits at the top chair and tells them order.
Oh yeah. Of course, he's Arsenal fan as well. Right. So
what's it, John
Burko.
That's it.
Right,
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So listen, we're gonna get this petition going.
You're fucked. You're gonna fight relegation.
And I also think that Dele Alli, Harry Kane, Dyer, all of that mob should be sent on an electrician apprenticeship. To go Listen, thanks for watching the show. I will be back again next week. Links are in the description for the petition. And also, if you want to download the podcast, the links are down there. DT, respect as usual, man. And let's beat Chelsea, please.